People, check out these amazing promotions that we have this week on the Beeline Entertainment, LLC. And if you're interested in promoting on our shows, we want to see it. We know you have amazing content. Just hit us up, send us a message. We there. Check it out. People, the Beeline Entertainment, LLC is proudly sponsored by Round Guys Brewing Company. That's right, get amazing crafted beers shipped straight to you. Round Guys Brewing Company. Check them out today at the link below. People, check out my man Philly D on the I'm Telling You podcast. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe today. It's a great show. I'm telling you.
He said it.
People, check out this amazing energy drink mix called Dubby. Get more Dubby. That's right. All the energy you need to get through your gaming, your creativity, and everything else. Check it out. Use that promo code BrianB, NRG, and get 10% off your order today.
Guess what, gal? There's a recording in progress. You know what that means? It means it's Tuesday night, baby. You see the red, white, and black on the shirt and on the thing. We got the hoodie on today. We rocking the hoodies. Yo, listen, guys. You guys can see every time we start an episode this year, we got, our sponsors hitting now. Please, if you guys like that, the commercial for the clothing, please hit the store, man. Thank everybody who's, purchased the shirts and the sweaters and has been calling us up and trying to be me, Brian B. Yo, I'm getting them all together. I'm gonna have a collection, and you guys are gonna see like all the people who are coming in. People are doing a really good job. Like I wish I had something like maybe we'll figure out something like an auction or something like that to sell a shirt, give you guys a shirt or something like that for the winner of the program. But let me stop talking. You know why? Guys, it's time. It's Brian B, and this is what you call the Beeline Web Show, where it goes down. Tuesday nights, baby. We got a guest. You see, it's a screen on the screen. I keep forgetting to leave people in the waiting room and all that stuff. I ain't have no waiting room last year, so I got a waiting room now. Like I'm fancy pants Steven. But yo, we got a guy here, and you guys might recognize him because he's been in a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about a lot of things today. He's got some new stuff. He's got some old stuff. We got brand new stuff ourselves. Yo, listen, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for an amazing year so far. It's only like the beginning of the year, but it's still going so amazing. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff that you know you need to do. But before we do anything, we got to do this. Let's go!
Straight to the point, baby.
It's going down in
3, 2, 1.
People, that's your boy!
Brian B.
Let's go.
Back on the Beeline. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited.
Is the influence you have.
Again with strangers!
You gotta be a clean baby's ass.
Hold on real quick.
Knows the hands of fate.
People, it's your boy, Brian B. Welcome to the Beeline Web Show. Let's go. Yo, listen, every time I see my intro, hey, Tom, what do you think about the intro, bro? That's all right, right?
Cool, man. Pretty
Yes,
cool.
sir,
Pretty bad.
yes, sir. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Beeline, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I'm starting to get better with this StreamYard. Like we in transition still, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can do on here that I don't got to edit. I used to spend 3 hours editing a video and then uploading or whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we have a screen on the screen today, and I'm very, very, very thankful to be joined by this guest today. He's very talented. He's done and produced a lot of movies with Churchill Productions. That's the correct name, right? Want to make sure I'm getting everything right here. But listen, if you don't know who this is Mr. Thomas J. Churchill. That's right, guys. Welcome to the board, Mr. Thomas. How you doing?
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, man. I mean, you're definitely, you've been in a lot of movies over the years, and I'm glad to say horror is definitely one of your big franchises, and that's something that I've spoken on multiple times with the Beeline. So we're going to get to know you today. We're going to get to, know some of your work you're doing and some work that you are, doing in the future as well. So before we start, let's go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us how you're doing and everything like that to start off.
How you doing? I'm Thomas J. Churchill. I'm a writer, producer, director, originally from New York. Now I'm out in Los Angeles. It's a pleasure to
Okay.
be on your show, Brian.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can hear it as soon as you start talking. Isn't it great that the accent don't go nowhere? I guess it's like I've been in Atlanta for 10 years now, but I'm from Jersey. Like I'm from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and stuff like that, born and raised. And I was in Atlanta for 10 years, and one of the scariest things. I'm sorry, Atlanta, but one of the scariest things people were telling me was like, "Oh, you're gonna get the accent." I'm like, "Listen, bro, I ain't trying to sound like I'm from the South, man. I'm sorry, but how is LA, man? What's the transition?"
I've been out here in California for 13 years, and accent ain't going anywhere. I mean, I was born in
Ain't going
Brooklyn,
nowhere.
raised in Queens, New York, and
Oh man, yeah,
it's just been in me my entire life. It's pretty funny when I get around other New Yorkers or other, some Jersey people, and not so much, uh, Pennsylvania and tri-state area, Connecticut, and
yeah,
all. I mean, the East Coast comes out of me pretty hard, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
not like if I'm talking to another New Yorker. It's just like the accent it doesn't go away. It's
yeah,
I
man.
try to tame it a little bit because sometimes people get intimidated by people from New York, and
For real,
being
man.
from New York, people automatically think you know, you're in that organization that doesn't exist.
Yeah, tough guy and stuff. When I first moved to Georgia, it was one of the most challenging things I had to face that I wasn't even like expecting at all. But either people were saying I'm talking too fast and they couldn't understand me, or just like like we're very confident, and it's like you don't say it like it's not on some jerk off stuff or whatever, but we're confident when we speak, man, and it's like we speak with authority, and it is hard to kind of I can understand how it can be kind of like abrasive for people, but yeah, you hear you're Brooklyn strong, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I do want to
what
say,
is
thank you for. I believe Mr. Steve Joyner was the one who hooked us up. I just
yeah,
want to give a shout out to him. Thank you
yeah,
very
yeah,
much
yeah,
for
Steve's the
this.
man. Steve's
Yeah.
the man, yo. Yeah, it's
Before
been
I wanted to just make sure I take care of the people that take care of me.
I love that too, man, because that's a big thing that we've really, like I was saying earlier, like it's a challenge doing stuff like this because in the entertainment field, it is very finicky with people sometimes. Like, sometimes you get them people who are just kind of out for themselves and everybody's trying to reach the top or whatever. It's hard sometimes when you don't take a second and kind of acknowledge, like, yo, let me help this guy, let me give him a hand and stuff like that, because it's easy to get lost trying to make it to the top or whatever. So I'm staying humble, trying to always make sure that everybody who's like looked out for me, if I can do anything to help anybody out, I'm always trying to play that part, bro. Because I understand what it's like to try to get something done, need assistance with it, and I understand all that. So yeah, you
I
definitely just volumes there.
One of the greatest entertainment legends of all time, Jackie Gleason,
Mm,
stated it best. He said, "Be nice to the people going up, because you're going to see the same people coming right back down." So,
yeah,
people always say it's lonely at the top. Not unless you do the right thing and acknowledge the people that helped you put yourself there.
yeah,
I'm all about. I'm very humble myself. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, with this idea of making movies as a kid. I was an actor. I started off as an actor as a kid, and I had this crazy dream to become a filmmaker. And
yeah,
at that time, during those years of my childhood, it was very hard. Nobody's done that. Nobody does that. You
yeah,
don't. There weren't
yeah,
any tools out there for me. Not like today, where everybody's phone and everybody's computer comes with iMovie and everything else, cameras. We had none of that. You wanted it, you had to go out and buy it or get it or find someone that gets it. And then I'm just grateful of the long journey that I've been on and the people that been there from the beginning, I don't forget. I may not say their names or may not see them on a regular, but they're right here, and right
Yeah.
here. I don't forget the ride.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, damn, you just dropped a whole lot of knowledge right there, Tom. It's
With the gray
interesting
hair.
that you just. I gotta remind them, right? Like I've been around. It's interesting that you say that, man, because it is something that I think we've talked about on the show quite a bit, actually. The differences between back in the day and to the now, the new age, whatever you want to call it. Technology has definitely given people opportunities that were never had before by other generations or whatever. But at the same time, it's also given a lot of people opportunities. So now, just like when you started, your hustle dictated your achievements. So basically, you and Johnny around the corner, y'all could have been similar as far as making movies, making stuff happen, and making a magic or whatever. But you might have had the extra drive to get it done, to be able to say, I can't just have a phone in my pocket. I have to go get the equipment. I have to work to get the equipment. I have to work to get this. I have to work to get people together. Maybe Johnny don't have that. But now everybody has like accessible things to get things done, if I'm making sense. So it's
No, I
like
got
everybody has like a way to do something now. So it's like it's easier for more stuff to flood the market, but now substance is what's harder to find because you can actually 1,000 billion podcasts can go out, but you're going to look for the ones who are worth watching. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to look for the ones who are actually trying to you're going to look for the movies, who didn't just make it with the iPhone in their basement and actually try to put some stuff together with it. It's difficult because technology has definitely advanced people to do a lot of things, but it's also, it hasn't taken anything away. It's just given everybody an opportunity, but still the same people who are going to hustle for that shit is going to be acknowledged. They're going to be the ones who are going to the top and who are making it if they keep working, not just thinking, oh yeah, well I have it so I can always do it or whatever, or put it on the back burner or whatever. But it's interesting, man. It's interesting to me that like you just said, you had to go and still get the cameras, you had to still get all the stuff and hustle to actually get where you need to be. You forget
well,
about
yeah.
that.
I've like I said, I started as an actor at 7 years old, and I was, my parents did that whole pushed me because I wanted to do it, not because they were these parents that, you know, they wanted to live their life through their child. No, it was something that
That's
I
real.
had this dream of being an actor, and they would take me to the cattle calls, to the open auditions, or yada yada yada, and there was a bunch of things we landed, and there was things that at the time I was too proud not to do. Like I had the little mustache at 13, 14, and people wanted you to get rid of it, and I was like, no, not thinking anything. I was like worried about how I live now, not
Yeah.
understanding the entire process. There were so many roads, Brian, that I said no to along my way that maybe I should have stopped and thought more and said, you know what? They're right. But I was proud to try to do things on my own. And it took me a long time. I'm not going to lie. At 17 years old, I convinced my dad to buy me a video camera out of the blue. And back then, video cameras were pretty damn expensive.
Yeah,
Pretty,
really. And big.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
and big.
and I convinced him to buy me one because I wanted to make my own movie, and to make my own movie to showcase me as an actor. But during that time, that journey of getting that camera and securing that camera, something changed in me. I fell in love with the producing, with the directing, with the writing, to make something, create and bring to life. And as an actor, yes, being the actor in the film,
Yeah.
but I was mainly doing it to showcase my talents as an actor. But oh my God, I completely fell in love with what is happening in
Yeah.
in that moment, in that process. And that was the beginning of my career. Here I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to do this. And I made a bunch of movies. I call them neighborhood films as a kid, showcase my acting. But overall, it was my school. I was teaching myself stuff. I was teaching
Crazy, man.
myself,
Yeah.
how to edit, how to direct, how to, point and shoot, and how to tell a story. And the cool thing about it, at the end of the day, it taught me what I liked in this business and what I didn't like in this business. And it taught me how to save money instead of, I don't need to go buy a camera to shoot a
Yeah.
movie. Hire the guy that wants to do that, wants to be a cinematographer, because that's the guy who's always going to keep that camera up to date and make sure
Yeah.
he's got
That's
all
his
the
job.
bells.
Yeah.
That's his job.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to invest in a camera anymore. I didn't have to invest in sound and lighting. You find the people that are into that and passionate as you are telling a story. So
Yeah.
that's truly where my education came from, was the business aspect of the business. Because yes, everybody wants to see a movie and everybody loves movies, but it's a business. It's a
It is.
business to stand. What's going to be next? What's going to be good? How are people going to like this? How you know? Like when you hear people, zombie movies are dead, or horror movies.
What?
Well, people
Yeah,
say,
I heard that shit.
the course of my career and meeting with the various companies out here, a lot of people would tell you at certain points horror is dead, and then all of a sudden 12 horror movies will come out in the theater and dominate the box office. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I've learned is nobody knows what the next big thing's going to be. Nobody.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
No.
I think that's a good point too. That's a good point as far as saying it like in all collective. Nobody does know what the next thing is going to be, because nobody knows what the next thing is until you actually see it and it's happening or whatever. Here's a good point with that. I've literally just got done watching my entertainment show that I was putting out this week or whatever, and in it we were discussing the movie Megan. You heard that new movie that came out with the like creepy girl doll or whatever. So we did our kind of review before that came out, just kind of talking about movies we want to watch in 2023, and Megan was on the list or whatever. And I said on the video pre-recorded, oh no, yeah, I want to see it, but whatever. I'm not expecting anything from it. I'm just like whatever, blah blah, whatever. Downgrading it, like oh, it looks like one of those movies that's gonna be whatever, whatever. Turns out Megan's in the theaters right now, and it's smashing the box office. Like it's and the scores are incredible, and people are talking about it. I looked at it, prejudged it, thought it was this. Oh, it's just like this. It's just like that. Blah 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 blah. Just like you're saying, oh, zombies dead. This is dead. Horror's dead. You don't never know what's going to come out and change the situation, yo. You have no idea what's going to come out and just completely open up that door that you thought was closed. It was never closed. It's just somebody wasn't opening that shit right, and then somebody opened it right, and then bam. And look at that, because I can't wait to see that damn movie now. But yeah, it's a good message, man.
Right, it's people that are also passionate, that put product out, like James Wan. James Wan is his roots go back to independent filmmaking. This is the kid. He's a man, he's not a kid, who created Saw, and from Saw, think of his 3 films that are so different, but it all came out of the same mind as a director: Saw, Fast and the Furious 7, Aquaman. 3 different movies.
3 completely different movies. Yeah,
all came out of the same director. Now if you met the guy when he was making Saw, would the studio system turn around and say, we want you to do Aquaman? No, they gave him another horror movie, because that's what he does. So when people are good at a certain craft, they get fed a lot of that same genre. And there's a lot of filmmakers out there that are great as genre filmmakers, great that just do horror and just do action, like Michael Bay. Michael Bay's a great action director.
Yeah.
Could he tell a full drama or romantic comedy, who knows?
Yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
given either nobody's given him that or he's not interested in it. See, I like to put myself is I've done a lot of horror, I've done action, I've done family, I've done sci-fi, I've done Christmas. I like to put myself as I'm a storyteller. I like to tell different genres, different when I feel like, like doing this movie. Let me do this. Let me go
Yeah.
do that. Let me do, you know, I have a tech right now. I have an Indiegogo campaign that just got launched today for a action film called The Avenging Angel. So if any of
Okay.
you, audience out there, when they're listening to this, they can go want to help me contribute with Indiegogo. It's crowdfunding. There's a lot of great perks from people that don't have money to people that have money. Uh,
Yeah.
but we get perks back. We give you, something back for doing so. It's easy to get to. It's just Indiegogo.com, and then I believe it's the Avenging Angel movie. So it's very
Got
easy
it.
to find. Go on all my
Yeah.
social media. But
And we'll leave
the,
a nice description here. Beeline, you know how we do. We'll leave it right here on the things. Y'all be looking at it the whole time while we're talking. Make sure that
oh,
you
thank you,
guys go
thank
and
you.
fund and oh yeah, for
There-
sure.
there-
All about, man.
the one reason why I wanted to go an Indiegogo campaign with this particular movie is because I've done in the last 10 movies I've done were horror films. And I did a drama because a drama and a Christmas movie during a break of doing the horror. And I don't mind. I love the business. I love the genre. I love horror. I love action. I love thrillers.
Love for.
But I also want to do other things as an artist.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
felt to get this movie off the ground and to do it the way I envisioned it when I wrote the script, I had to go old school, is do it yourself.
Yeah.
And so I've, my producing partner, Alexander Zorich Hunt, and I decided to let's try something different and let's try and do this Indiegogo campaign. And we're excited about it. Never did it before, so it's my very first Indiegogo campaign. And I'll be honest with you, if it's a success and everything is great with it, I'll do another one. I'll do another project, a personal project that I really want to do and bring the audience involved with me, because that's what I'm offering for people to
Yeah.
join me and be part of.
Thomas, I wanted to ask real quick, just to clarify, exactly what is an Indiegogo? Because I've actually never heard of that before.
So Indiegogo.com is a crowdfunding platform, which means the audience helps contribute to your budget.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's what I
Movies,
thought.
movies cost, studio
Money.
movies cost a lot of money. Independent
Yeah.
films can cost as high as studio film money, but what we're using this money for is basically I have this plan that I want to see this movie theatrical. It's a throwback. It's an action thriller to some of the action movies that you don't really see anymore. But it has a great message. It's violent as
Yeah.
hell. So horror
Yeah.
fans would love it. And people can contribute anywhere from $11 to a couple 100,000
Yeah.
if they want. They can
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
There's a section after you go in and read everything. We got little squares that has perks. The perk is basically you contribute this, I'm gonna give you this. So you give me $100. In return, I'm giving you this. So every perk has something that I'm gonna give you back. I
Gotcha.
think the tax write off, I am not sure, but a lot of people do it with, credit card, oh, I wish I had the cash, but I got a credit card. You can use that. So it helps the artist achieve their goal. And in
Yeah.
return, the fans, the family, the friends that are all out there spreading the word about this Indiegogo campaign for the Avenging Angel, they get something in return. They could be in the movie, they could be part of the
Mm.
movie, In fact, Brian, this is funny. There's we have a whole section of our movie is about podcasting. It's an
Oh
action
yeah.
film. Wrestling. There's wrestling in it. It's a vigilante movie.
Yo, listen, this
There's
is
a
me
lot.
right here. This is me right. You see my wall, right?
There's
This
a
is me right
podcast
here.
element. Like one of my perks is I am looking for. I believe we have a slot for 20 or 30-second pod shows that if you guys, if podcasters or whatever, go to my Indiegogo and click onto that, it's a contribution to you. You're giving money, but in return, you're going to be in the film for 30 seconds talking about a topic that I'm going to give you, but it'll be all about your company. So your business,
Gotcha.
the Beeline Entertainment, would be
Yeah.
showcased in my film. Like all of a sudden during a scene, we'll cut to a podcaster who is actually discussing the story, part of the story that's happening in my film.
That's
So
awesome. Yo, to just speak on that, like that's an incredible idea. First off, and listen, I'm over here on Indiegogo right now, so I'm looking it up as we're talking about it. But I was actually one of the opportunities I had, doing the show and everything like that. I actually was on a movie. The same thought that like you're having now. My show, everything was on a movie. I was actually playing kind of like a alien conspiracy guy or whatever. And my show was like alien conspiracies and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean it's a great opportunity to network, man. Like you were saying before earlier about like, as you're on your way to the top, you got to make your connections. You got to, shake your hand. You got to like help people out so they can
give
help you
back.
out.
I like to say give
Pay to
back.
play, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
Give
that's
back,
too,
yeah.
but I also like to give back because
Yeah.
as my career is accelerating and going up further, I don't know
Yes.
if I would ever have this opportunity to do something like this again. So I'm
Got you.
trying
Yeah.
to do things to give back to the fans, the family, the friends, and everybody else that's out there trying, whether it's a podcaster, an actor, a director, a writer. I want
Yeah.
to help you guys help, that you're helping me, but I want to help you back. There's another perk we have for advertisement for our when we have our premiere and after party in Hollywood for companies to sponsor that. There's also another perk where if you want your music or song or a logo, a brand, a something that people work hard on, clothing or whatever, we can showcase this in the film. There's a perk for that. So
Got you. Okay.
so there's so much that I want to give back to the audience, to everybody that helped me, and in return, this film is it's going to blow people's minds. It's
I'm ready.
absolutely going to blow people's minds, and I'm so excited about this film. I've been excited
That's
about
awesome.
movies before, but
Yeah.
not as excited about this one. I mean, it's just been it's something different, and it's bringing me back to my old true street cred indie roots of making a movie, and that's what's exciting about it.
That's awesome too, man. And congratulations, bro. Like definitely for all your
Thank
success, everything that you've been doing. I also like hearing, the passion. You got passion for it, man. And it's always exciting to talk to somebody who's like, not only living out their dream, but like continuing to live out their dream. You know what I'm saying? You're not stopping. You're not like, oh, I made it. I made a movie. Let me just make another one. You're continuing the process. So much respect for you in that aspect as well.
Here's the thing: once you lose passion in what you truly love, then pack it up.
Yeah, man. You might as well.
I refuse to be jaded because there's a lot of filmmakers, there's a lot of actors, there's a lot of actresses and Hollywood legends that I came across that are just angry. And because, they just been in it too long and they lost the love. They got used and abused, during the course of their career. And they just got this anger about them.
Yeah.
Brian, I promised myself as a kid, I manifested to be here. as a kid. This is all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
And if it's not that I'm enjoying it, I would have packed it in. I would have packed it in at 17 when I made my first movie and said, this shit is too hard.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah,
excuse my
it's
language,
work. No,
but
you're good.
but it's discipline, it's staying focused, it's not running away when you have issues or problems, and it is being a leader. If you're going to be a director, you have to be a good leader. You have to, even if there's things going on in your head, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this or whatever, you don't let anybody, because the minute somebody sees you out of your element, that's it. You lost control of your crew, your cast, and all. I've been prepared. I've been making movies since I'm 17 years old.
Yeah, it's a long time, man.
And I'm not done yet. I want to keep going. My goal in life is to keep making movies until I'm ready to be laid to rest.
Got you.
Feeling Clint Eastwood, aged like 90 in my 90s or whatever. And
Yeah.
and the cool thing is, somebody asked me once, "What do you want out of this business?" I want awards. I mean, as you can see behind me, well, over there.
Yeah, I was looking at it, peeping
There's a
over
bunch
there.
of. I want more. I want awards, and I want other filmmakers in film school to dissect my work as I keep going. Somebody said, "Well, what did you think Churchill thought when he was making this film?" Because every movie, there's an art to it, even though it could be
For
cheesy
sure.
look, something wrong, but there's a reason why it's like that. There's a reason
Yeah.
why it is bloody. There was a reason why there was a giant creature. It's fun. It's art. If I make movies for one person only, myself. If I like it, I'm gonna do it, and hopefully the world accepts it. But if I
Yeah,
don't
other
like
people
what
like
I'm
it.
doing, I shouldn't be in this business. Am I right?
You want to know something? That's interesting that you're saying that now because I've had this discussion once again, on my entertainment show a lot of times about music. And the thing about, I've spoken with people who kind of say the opposite of that. I'm in full agreement of what you're saying as far as you do something because it's what you're passionate about, it's what you love, it's what you want, it's what you enjoy. When you do that, you put your all into it. You put your all into it no matter what, because it's just natural for you, because that's your passion, what you enjoy. When you're doing something to satisfy someone else, I'm not saying you're not putting your all into it, but what I am saying is you're not enjoying it as much as something that you completely care about, you're completely involved in. You know what it's like when you're doing something or being with somebody you love. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard
Right.
people try to make the argument, oh, well, you can't do it for yourself. You have to do it for other people. I understand what your intent is with that, kind of phrase or whatever. But if you're not doing it because it's what you love, if you're not making a horror movie or like you said before, James Wan, if he's not making Saw, unbelievably, incredibly, a fantastic movie, but then having the ability to still go and make Aquaman a great movie, or everything, he was passionate about that. You don't just have one love, but you have to want to do that. Now, somebody said go make a K-pop song. He's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? He might be able to study it, explore it, and probably do a really good job imitating what he thinks people want to hear. But what
Right.
he's doing, what you're doing, is the passion. So your stuff is coming out pure, even if somebody sees it and they're not in agreement with it. Oh, I don't like that. I'm not. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But the people who are on your level, that's seeing what you wanted, the people you're speaking to through your art, is what you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be speaking to. So I completely agree with that, man. I think that people need to start staying a little bit more true to their true character, their true nature. Not saying just be opinionated and not be open, but I think it'll cause people to fall in love with shit again, man. Because you are right. There are a lot of people who are just like, oh, here's another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
love this shit right here. Like, you know, I'm at the beginning, but I love it. I'm trying to push everything out so I can just do this.
Well,
I love this.
here's the funny thing. So my entire life, up until 13 years ago, I lived a dual life. I was making movies and I had a 9 to 5. And I've done a bunch of 9 to 5s that people spend a career doing, but it wasn't enough for me. I wasn't happy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, some of the jobs I would tell you, people spend careers doing that. It just wasn't for me. So 13 years ago, I was in North Carolina, doing both, working at a career that people would use, because I've been doing that a long time, and I was making films. And I came out to California to shoot a spec pilot on my vacation, so to speak, from that job.
Yeah.
And I was out here a week, and I clicked with, I didn't know these people from Adam, but the executive producer and that I did this job for liked my style, liked everything we was doing, and wanted to finance a film of mine. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I was trying to figure out how I can break that time apart, because I was going back to the day job.
Yeah.
I get back to the day job, and then I think it was that was June of 09. August of 09, I had to come back out here, so I did it on I had vacation time. And then when I came back, my boss at that job, great guy, I owe so much to him. And I'm going to tell you how I paid part of it back. So this guy said to me, Tommy, what are you doing here? And I said, what do you mean? What are you doing here? I was an operations manager for a pharmaceutical company, Brian. That was my background, doing pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
And
Money.
I said, I'm working. He goes, no, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm running the lines. I'm making sure this is done. I'm making sure that. He says, no, this ain't for you. You've been doing this a long time, but you're just doing it. What is your passion? What do you want? You don't belong here. You're a filmmaker. And I looked at him and I says, so I'm going to ask you again, why are you here? I said, medical, responsibilities, bills. He says, that's not good enough. He says, I'm going to do this for you. He said, our company is going to be closing in the next 18 months, right? I said, yeah, I know that. He says, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to get you a retention package. I'm going to give it to you, and you're going to get the hell out of here and go make movies. And I said to him, what are you doing? Because I'm panicking now. I'm panicking because it's like I don't have my shit lined up yet. I'm like,
Yeah.
So what are you doing? He goes, you're gonna thank me one day. He says, I'm doing this for you. He walked away, came back, gave me my letter, gave me my money, and I left. That was the last big day job I ever had. That was 13 years ago. So he kept in touch with me. I mean, to this day, we still talk, not as much as we should. But when it was time, so I wrote 2 screenplays when I was living in North Carolina. One of them was Checkpoint, my action thriller.
Gotcha,
and I actually had it in what I wanted to do. And when I moved out here, a couple of years in that I'm here, one of the financiers of that movie said, where do you want to shoot it? And I said, I want to shoot this in Wilmington, North Carolina. Okay, let's go there. I went back to my old boss and I said, we'd like to shoot a movie on your land. And he looked at me, he's like, what? I brought all these big names and gave memories to his kids because they were fans of
Goldberg
from Friday the 13th. They're big fans of his. Big
Oh
fans
yeah,
of
yeah, he's in that
Goldberg.
too.
Big fans of Goldberg, the wrestler. They were fans
Yeah,
of him. And we spent 2 weeks blowing up his farm. When you watch the movie Checkpoint, the farm and everything where Fred Williamson, who had his house in the movie, that was my boss's house. That was my boss's land. That was my so I returned the favor in a weird way, but still I still owe him a lot from what he did for me. But that's just
incredible, man.
one of the things about where you are in a your own world as a person, and you end up running that what do you call it, the hamster wheel. And a lot of people get stuck on that hamster wheel and don't understand how to jump off it to fulfill who they are. And I tell you, Brian, in my life, and I look back at it, there's been a lot of stress. There's been a lot of relationships lost, broken. I missed funerals. I missed weddings. I missed parties. I missed birth because I was always trying to stay focused and follow what was inside of me as what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
And the path went like this my whole life, but finally, and I say it was God. God told this man to come over to me, and I'm a strong believer in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. God put that in that man to come over to me and kick me out of a business that I was in for 20 plus years and saying, okay, enough. This is not meant for you. You are meant to go do other things. I'm grateful I'm out here 13 years. I've been blessed with all the opportunities I have. Am I Spielberg? Not yet. But I'll tell you one thing, I am not the same guy I was 13 years ago running a pharmaceutical company and making movies. I am blessed that at night I go to sleep, I wake up, I'm still doing what I do. And God
yeah,
granted that for me, and God blessed me through my boss. And I'll never forget that ever, ever. And if I can help what I just said to somebody in your audience, uh, here's the thing. What I've learned also is your goals and your life of what you really want to do, you can't truly have unless you let go of the safety net. I had a safety net. I had a safety net for a very long time. And doing things, it worked, but it didn't work until
yeah,
you let go and you gave it all pretty much to fate, to God, to the universe, whatever you want to say. To me, universe is God. And let go. Of course, you're gonna fall, you're gonna hit the bottom, but you get up, dust yourself off, and you stay focused. You stay focused on what your passion, what your destination is, what your love is, and that voice. Most of all, that voice inside of you, listen to it. That voice can, there I am. Sorry, somebody just tried to text me, but
yo,
that voice.
listen, I think that God might have just did that right there. I'm telling you right now, yo, Tom. Whew, man, yo, listen, you're talking about a person in the audience, man. I'm telling you right now, yo, you almost brought me to tears, man. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never been hit like that on my show before, man. I'm telling you right now, like literally everything that you're saying, bro, everything that you're saying is like exactly what I'm living in my life right now, man. I'm like, I finally, it's weird, like, yo, I'm like, I've never been hit like this before in my fucking show. Um, everything is difficult, man, because it's hard to like really like care as much as you can for something like, and you don't even know what it is because it's like it is difficult to try to live a life and still maintain your passion because just like you said previously, like you were in a career, like you know what I mean, like you were in a career and you feel comfortable because you got to feed your family, you got to do this, you got to do that, but it's easy to get lost and forget or think that you can't have time or think that you can't make time or think
That's
that
right.
and then time fucking runs out on you and to miss out on opportunities that you could have taken advantage of, and maybe you realize later. I'm sorry to go, but like I've been realizing, like, you know, I've been doing a lot to try to position myself where I'm trying to be in my life at this point, man. And these last few years have been hell and crazy, and but also unbelievably rewarding for just even speaking with you right now and just hearing like this, right? Like the passion is like a whole nother level that I've never had before for anything I've done in my life, yo. And
Well,
it's just
here's
crazy hearing you say that stuff, man.
well, listen, we're here for a reason. And the key element to everything is value. What is value? What is value? Yeah, of course, everybody wants money, but
Yeah.
what is the one thing that you don't realize the value until it's gone? You know what that thing is?
Yeah.
Time. Your time.
Oh,
People's
man,
time.
it's crazy.
Because yes, you can have the biggest mansion in the world. You can have all the money. You can have everything, all the toys. But if you don't, and when you say, oh, I don't have time for that, I don't have time for that, I don't have time for that, or people, or I gotta go, I got no time, I got no time, I got no. And then when you don't have that time anymore with that person, or that area, or that job, or that money, what do? You regret.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I wish I had
Yeah.
more time. Life is funny.
Yeah,
Life is
man.
funny. I mean, look, here I'm building what I think is going to be for me, like my little empire. But all I'm doing is I realize it's now for me. It is a little bit, but it's for everybody else behind me. It's
Yeah.
my
Yep.
son. It's everybody else. It's whoever's just passionate. I'm creating the blueprint of
Yes.
what to
Shit is
do, what
blowing my mind right now, yo.
and
Even the
listen,
words that you're using are exactly the words that I've been using these last 2 years in what I've been doing with this. I mean, empire, blueprint, everything you're saying. That's how, like you just said, God, man. I'm trying to tell you, like, I pay attention, man. I really pay attention when stuff is happening. Just like you're just telling me that story with your boss speaking to you. Like right now, I feel like you speaking to me. Like you don't even understand. Like the last couple of days with everything, you know, talking with everybody recently. This is such an unreal experience right now. There we go. Okay, something happened. Yeah. Listen, man. Like you said, maybe it was getting too real in here. Yo, listen, Tom, I gotta give it to you, man. I've done this show for 3 years now. Nobody has ever made me almost cry in this bitch, yo. My girl can almost not make me. Woo,
well,
that was rough for me. Man, that was
I
crazy.
take that as a good thing. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. You were sitting that story you were telling, man. And like I said, literally the words that you were using. I mean, literally just down to the conversation I just had a minute ago. I'm trying to so hard to give my life to what I would like to give it to for my kids, for just an example, even just like to show I've been in entertainment my whole life, man, from music to this and that. And like you said, I was passionate. I was writing stories about me in the neighborhood, kids in my area. I was writing, I've always been doing stuff like this, man. But I've never allowed myself to just completely give myself into it. I've always thought of it as like, I wish I could, like it was a distant dream. And this has been the closest I've ever been. Like, wait a minute, I can actually make this my career, like for real. It's never been a reality. And then just hearing you say stuff and like the understanding of the balance where you're trying to say, yeah, but I need money, the safety net, like you said. But still, you also you got to let that shit go and just be confident that you're going to work hard to build. You can fail, but that's why you have to bust your ass.
Yeah,
Oh,
listen, it's
man.
not easy. If it
Yeah,
was easy, everybody would be doing it.
very
That's
true.
why, what's the craziest thing, Brian, is I look on Facebook and I see people I grew up with, people I knew from my neighborhood, and people that I just came in contact with, and everybody looks so worn out, so
Yeah.
old, or whatever. Like just life beat the crap out of them, and
Yeah.
I mean, they probably say that about me too, but I don't. I see all this and I see how a lot of people are miserable, and
Yeah,
I ask
man.
myself, why are they miserable? They're making a lot of money. They got their house, they got their family, they got their kids, they got everything else. They got the soccer mom, all that other stuff. But then it dawned on me, you know why they're miserable? Because they're doing what they don't love to do. They're doing their busy work. It's
Busy
busy
work.
work.
It is.
It's going to somebody's office, making money, doing something good. I bet you if you asked 10 people, 10 people, what did you want to be when you were a kid? One person would tell you they're living that life. One.
I think that's being generous. I think you can ask 30 people and you might get one person saying they're doing exactly what they wanted to do. Even if it's not just from a kid. I mean, I think like you said, man, you get into this place of complaints. Let me kind of say this too, man. One of the craziest things, like I recently, had kind of like a health scare thing or whatever with my health. And it was the first thing I ever had to face with health, yo. I was always like, I'm indestructible. I'm fucking Batman. I don't care. Like, but
Are
I
you
had
okay
kind of a
now?
health scare.
Are you
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Great. God
I'm
bless.
good.
God bless.
I got to lose some weight for sure, but I'm
Oh,
definitely,
don't we
you
all?
know, yeah. But I had a health scare, and I kind of allowed that to kind of place me into an understanding of how I want to kind of have control of my life, man. Like you said, time is away from nobody, yo, and we all have a certain amount of time. Who knows
Right.
how long it is? So you have to take advantage of the things that you're doing, and that's where, like you were stating, man. I don't want to. You put so much time into your job, what you do for a living, to make money, to provide for your life, whether it be your family, whether it be by yourself, whatever. You have to go to work to do that. You have to get money. It's the only way you get money. Ain't no other way unless you invent some shit. But if you're just at a place where you spend so much of your time, more time than you do anything else in life, for the most part, for most people, you
And
go to
you're
work
miserable.
8 hours, miserable. But what?
Right.
Of course, you have. I had a damn job where I was working a cable job. I was working 6 days a week. I used to have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, go to the warehouse, get my shit, and my first job was at 8 a.m. in the morning. And then I wouldn't get done some days. Most days, roughly, maybe 6, 7 o'clock, I was heading home. 6 days a week, every day until I quit. I gave my life to that job. For what?
And
I
you were nervous for a little bit, right? And but it
Oh
all
yeah,
worked out. It all worked out.
bro.
When I
It's
was a
crazy,
kid,
man.
I was in high school, and I made my first movie. And all of a sudden, we were in the newspapers, and my principal, God bless his soul, he's gone, uh, gets an invitation from this other school to ask me to go and talk to them about careers. I'm a high school kid. What the hell do I know?
Hey.
So I went to an elementary school to talk to this class about following your dreams. I went around the room and I asked every kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know how many doctors, baseball players, basketball players, I want to be rich. This, that. Everybody had that dream. There was a few that said, "Oh, I want to be like my dad, a fireman," which is great. I want to be like
Oh,
my
okay, that's
dad, a
nice.
policeman, which is great because
Yeah,
those are great jobs. I want to be a doctor. Those are great jobs that we all need, and they're so honorable, and they
yeah,
don't
for
get enough.
sure, for
But I
sure.
said to every one of those kids in that room, life is going to throw you curveballs. Life is going to come at you hard. People are going to talk you out of things. You don't need that. It's too hard. Or
Yes.
this. You have to listen to you. You have to listen to that voice. You have to listen to that little person inside of you, and forget about the naysayers. Forget about the people that's trying to get you off course. Those people, some of them may be family and blood,
For real. Yeah.
are the ones that's going to take you off your course because they fell off their course or they didn't have a course. So they don't want to see you do really. They do. They'll all say, "Oh, I just want the best for you," but deep down, they don't want to see you life change and you're going away. My whole family's back in New York. I'm out here by
Oh wow.
myself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I miss holidays. I miss this. My entire family. I had to go back and bury my parents at times, but
Yeah.
it's sometimes I would have said maybe I should have stayed another season, maybe I should have stayed another year, maybe I should have stayed. But at the end of the day, life is life. God's still going to take them, and I still need to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing what I need to do, I'm just going to be miserable. God's still going to take your loved ones because that's the cycle of life. But at the end of the day, I rather say, you know what? I gave this one hell of a ride. I
Yes.
did
Yes.
everything I wanted to do. Yes, I didn't make all the Spielberg money, but I got movies out there. People know who I am. You could Google me. My name comes up with everything I've done. So if God
Just
took me,
did. Yep. Right here.
right? If God takes me tonight, which I hope He doesn't,
Yeah.
that I I I have no regrets on not being miserable.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you lay in bed, you close your eyes. I thank Him every night, and you're doing what you love to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Much power
And
to you, Tom.
well,
Yeah.
it's thank you, but see, I look at it as making films, making art. Yes, it's my thing that I love doing, but it's also for everybody out there because people need to escape. They need to get away. They need to find that time. They need to just forget about their own issues or maybe see something in my movie that they can relate and maybe address their own problem the same way we handled it in our films.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my films, I look at it as I want to give back. I want to teach. I want to spread the word. I want families to understand how it was to have dinner with each other as opposed to one person's in one room, one person's in the other room, and then one's on their phone, one's on their laptop, one's eating
Yep.
at the TV. Sit at the table for 30 minutes. Life is too short. The pandemic, don't make me get started on it, but the best thing with
Yeah,
the
man.
pandemic was it put people back to where families were important.
Yeah, slowed everything down. It slowed everything down. And we say that all the time. Like you just said with the families connecting with each other. All of that stuff, man, you don't realize how much that stuff matters a lot of times until it's too late. And that's what
That's
sucks,
right.
man. That's what sucks. But at the same time, like we're also saying, just to kind of incorporate the whole, field there, you know, it's because people are constantly on the missions that they're trying to be on, whether it be the job, whether it be the girl, whether it be the date, whatever, man. People are constantly always feeling like, oh, I don't got enough time. I don't got enough time. I don't got time. And then you realize you did have enough time when it's too late. Time runs out. And it's a damn trap, man.
You know what's the craziest thing too, Brian, is young kids. They don't get out. What I mean by this is this. You know how many parks I drive by and it's just abandoned, empty, quiet, unless it's
Yeah.
school time and they're out there playing. But other than
Yeah.
that, you never see kids at the park on the weekend
It's
or at
crazy.
night or going after school. Never. When I was a kid, no, now I sound like my dad. When I was my kid, when I was a kid, we were always in the park. We always played
Yeah.
ball, and that's what people miss. That's not here no more. the physical bonding of friends as opposed to bonding with somebody in another state because you met them on Facebook.
Call of Duty and shit.
But you can't go out and throw a ball with them and play catch or go
Yeah.
shoot hoops or go play hockey or go swimming or go talk or go to a movie. It's not that's dead. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. At least is more the minority now, because everybody, like you're saying, people literally, I mean, even my kids, I mean, we just started this thing. Me and my girl, we're waking up every weekend and we get up with the kids and we go to the park. It's like you're just saying right now, for the same reasons, because we've been in the house. I've literally, since the COVID shit, I'm not gonna lie, I've been in the house. I haven't been doing anything, man. I've been even like not like knowingly fearful, but I think subconsciously kind of like afraid to go out and do things, not because I think I'm going to get sick, but just because it's been like the narrative that has been just presented these last couple of years, man, with the sickness stuff. Everybody's sick, everything's shut down. So I'm like, well, is anything really even open like it was? I don't want to go to the bowling alley and have to be 6 feet from everybody playing all that shit. Like, I want to be able to go out and enjoy like I used to go out and enjoy. So just till this year right here, where I made to myself, I'm like, yo, I want to be out again. I want to be experienced. So we go to the park every morning on the weekends and we walk.
Right.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. It's so great just getting fresh air. I work from home. I do the show. I barely go outside. I'm pale. Look, I used to be brown and shit. But I never go outside anymore, man. But I love it. We go to the park. My daughter rides her scooter. You know,
That's great.
It's so refreshing, man.
That's great. God bless.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
great.
for sure.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Yeah, man. But hey, yo, Tom, I really did not know we were gonna have the conversation we had today. But like you said, man, I believe in God highly, man. Like, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, man. You know, everything happens for. I had like geared up. I got your movie sitting here. I'm like, I still want to ask you a couple questions, but that the information that you just laid, I think for anybody, any of you guys, and I know a lot because we're in the little podcast world or whatever. But there's people out there who really are trying to give their all to make their dreams come true, man, for whatever it is, whether you're a dancer, whether you're an artist, whether you're whatever, singer, you know, you got a passion that you're trying to bring to life and you're trying to live the most, you know, with it, not being stuck at Comcast or like you need to fund it, you know, but you can't get lost in that shit. And that's what I refuse to do anymore in my life for the rest of my life. If I can help it, I'm not getting lost. There's some things, this is comforting. There's some things that I know for sure that I'm pretty positive, unless things get really bad, I'm not doing anymore. When I was 20, I might have did it then, but now at 37, I'm not doing anymore, man. I can confidently say, I'm going to do this. I ain't flipping burgers. I'm not doing anymore. Like, I'm proud that I can at least be at that level. My next level is, like you said, man, following your dream and just making it your reality forever.
Just gotta listen. If you believe, if you dream it, you believe it, you'll receive it.
There you go. So you said, like you said, with a Checkpoint, and you know, I see a lot. You know, you got a lot of horror. You got some variety here. Checkpoint was pretty big. So how did you you know, lock in, you know, Bill Goldberg? Like, I'm a wrestling dude. I host a wrestling show and everything. How'd you lock in Bill Goldberg, man, and the guys who were in that movie with you? Checkpoint.
Well, it goes back, you know, doing one of my first horror films was a movie called The Emerging Past, and I met a lot of people during the convention circuit, and we became friends. Like I knew everybody. There's 3 of them that are dead now, but I knew every Jason that played character. I knew every actor that played Jason. I knew every actor that played Michael Myers. You know, I know the cast of Chucky, Texas Chainsaw. You become friends with all these people, and you know, you develop relationships, and you know, one of my friends actually put things in perspective for me. I was doing a convention in Pennsylvania for I can't remember. It was just some little convention, and a lot of people didn't show up for this convention, but all the celebrities. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I was there signing, so we were all talking to each other and hanging out and going to have lunch and dinners and all, because we were there for 3 days and it was a quiet convention. It should have never that. little town. It should have been someplace else. But you know,
Got you.
people do things because they have a dream, and not everything, comes into if you don't think it all out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so a friend of mine took a drive. A friend of mine lived in Albany, and he took a drive to Pennsylvania to say hi because he hasn't seen me in a while. And he stood there with this look on his face, and I walked over to him. I said, "Hey, man, what's up?" He goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "I can't believe what I'm watching." I said, What do you mean?" He says, "Dude, everybody's talking to you like you guys grew up together." And he goes, "And it's kind of cool." He says, "These are the people that we used to watch on television and go to the
Oh,
movie and watch, and now you're like really close friends with them." And I
yeah.
turned around and I looked to get his view of what he was looking at, and then I realized he's right.
Yeah,
And
man.
I am so humbled. I am grateful. I am thankful that I can, pick up a phone and call people that are all in these industries and work with people that I grew up watching. I mean, Tony Todd's been a friend of mine for years, for over 15
Mm,
years, and just did a
yes.
movie with him last year that should come out. I believe it's coming out in March through, I think it's Lionsgate or Grindstone, but it's called Devereaux. And it's Tony Todd, Vincent Ward, who was on The Walking Dead, and he's done a bunch of movies. Vincent Ward as well. He's in a few of my films, and Krista Grotti, who I've worked with a few times. But Devereaux is kind of cool. It's like a voodoo style horror film with a new, God willing, iconic character. If
Yeah.
it catches, so that comes out. I think it's either March or April. There's
Ooh,
like
Tony Todd, for Beeline, Tony Todd, that's Candyman right there. So it's like, and I mean, I remember I was introduced to Tony Todd with Night of the Living Dead. That was the first time that I saw him
right.
from
He
a little
played Ben.
kid.
He
Remember?
played
Yeah, he
Ben.
played Ben on Night of the not yeah, it was Ben. No, who was that?
Yep. Yep.
Who was in the
Yep.
cellar?
It was the remake of Night of the Living Dead because
Cooper was in the cellar. That's right. Okay,
and
yeah.
Tom Savini directed it.
Yes, man.
See,
The
the original,
legendary Tom Savini.
I seen the original Night of the Living, not when it came out. I seen it obviously many years later on television,
Yeah.
and it's just like Friday the 13th. I seen that when I was a kid, and
Yep.
just people from that movie. And you mentioned Fright Night, the original Fright Night with
Man, yeah.
Evil Ed, Stephen Jeffries.
Yeah.
I worked with him on he was in Emerging Past. He's in Checkpoint. He did a movie for me called Lazarus Day of the Living Dead, and then
Yeah, see.
there's this other movie that I produced that I don't really talk about.
Got you. Hey, man, listen, and I see a lot of these are on Tubi, and so guys, please go check out Mr. Churchill's work. I mean, he's got a lot of films over here.
A
I
lot
mean,
of them to be Amazon. Just Google my name. There's a movie that I wrote that's on Netflix. I was supposed to direct it. It was supposed to be a Steven Seagal movie, actually, and we ended up. Steven couldn't do it any longer, and they wanted to do this movie in Romania, and I didn't feel like going to Romania, so I just did the script and moved on. But the name of the movie is called The Hard Way with Michael J. White and Randy Couture and Luke
man,
Goss.
listen, you about to have me on a spree, man. That's my type. Me, I'm Michael J. White. That's my boy. But Blood and Bone is one of my favorite movies of all time. But you had Michael J. White, Tony Jaa. I'm a huge Steven Seagal. I'm a huge like action kung fu. I love that stuff. My father, instilled that in me in a long time ago. But horror, all of that stuff. Like I'm a giant fiend for that. So I gotta check that out because I'm pretty sure that's probably gonna be phenomenal, man. You know what else is gonna be? I can't wait for this year, yo. That John Wick, man. That John Wick 4. Woo! John Wick is an incredible movie, man.
The third one, each one of those movies were better than the previous. I mean, the first,
Better. I just said that. Yep.
but the third one, the whole library scene was great.
Bro, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Even the last scene where he's fighting the two guys, and
yeah,
yeah, that's the guy from the Raid Redemption, and that little skinny dude with the long hair with the little goatee. Yeah, bad, yo, bad dude,
Yep.
man. Tom, what's your favorite style of movie? Just like for pleasure.
I got so there's 5 movies that define me of who I am.
Okay.
And the 5 movies are King Kong, 1976 version,
Okay.
Superman, 78, Star Wars, 77, Beverly Hills Cop, and
Yes, that's a
Batman,
winner right there.
1989. Those 5 movies are what molded me to what I want to do. I mean,
That's crazy.
there's 4 directors that I absolutely love. I mean, there's so many great directors out there, but my 4 go-to is Hitchcock, Spielberg, Sesame Seville, and Orson Welles. Oh my God, I was going to say Orson Citizen, but Citizen Kane was his movie. But those
Yeah, that's
4
right.
directors are the ones that pretty much molded me to crafted me in storytelling. And even though my films range in different budgets, high budgets, low budgets, the story and the passion and the concept is always there. The characters, from a movie called Big Freaking Rat, which is doing great in Europe, it's supposed to be coming out here soon, to Checkpoint. It's like opposite ends of the spectrum, but yet when you watch those movies, there's a lot of values that you'll see that is recurring in all my films, which is family.
Gotcha. Listen, and when it was interesting, like you just said before, about like the guy taking a step back and like, look at this, this is amazing. Like while you were at that convention, I
Right.
feel that even right now, man. I feel like because I'm about to go upstairs, I know my girl's going to be asleep, and I'm going to put on Tubi and I'm going to check out. I want to watch a bunch of your movies now. Now that I spoke with you, I see it, and it's like I got inside, intellect.
But there's 3 horror movies that I kind of like a lot. One is called Lazarus, Day of the Living Dead. It's a black and white throwback, what if prequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
My own Amityville trilogy, which is the Amityville Harvest, which is about a vampire, the Amityville Moon, which is about a werewolf, and the Amityville Uprising, which is about zombies. All takes place in the real Amityville town, and all in its own.
Got text message again.
Yeah,
this thing is so awesome, man. I haven't even. I've almost forgot for a second. I'm gonna be real with you, Tom. I almost forgot for a second we were doing a show. I'm just over here talking to you. Like, this is awesome, man.
But I want to say, Brian, thank you very much for having me on.
Yes, sir.
And like once it's finished and all, let me know, and I'll post it and push it everywhere that I have.
Please do, man. Hey, Beeline, Thomas, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for the unbelievable inspiration that you really provided with this episode. I mean, I wasn't even ready for it. You moved me. I'm not gonna lie, you moved me, man. So much success to you, brother. I mean, anytime you want anything you got going on, I would love to have you back on, even if it's just to talk about different movies and stuff.
Thank you, thank you. And also just let the audience know Indiegogo campaign is live for the movie, the Avenging Angel movie, which is my film. It's an action thriller. Come on board, help us out, contribute. There's perks that I'm giving back. There's prices there that from $11 to a couple of $100,000, no matter what you guys want to do, it's there. And I just want to say thank you again for going there. And Brian, thank you very much for having me on. And God bless. Happy New Year, and let's talk soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Beeline, we love you guys. Stay true, stay positive, pay attention, and please follow your dreams, yo. Holla at you guys.